Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, onto the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail. There are moments in Scottish football that feel almost unreal, like whispers carried through the cold Glasgow air, growing louder until they can't be ignored anymore. And right now, the chatter surrounding a supposed swap between Celtic and Rangers has reached that fever pitch. Fans on both sides of the divide are struggling to believe what they're hearing, yet the name at the center of it all makes it impossible to dismiss outright. Peter Lawwell, a figure long associated with calculated decisions and quiet authority, has apparently moved in a way that nobody saw coming. The idea of any kind of direct exchange between the two giants of Scottish football is enough to shake the foundations of the rivalry itself. But when you throw in a young, rising striker like Yousef Chermati, it turns from shock into something bordering on disbelief. Still, the rumors persist, growing stronger by the hour, suggesting that something significant has already been set in motion behind closed doors, away from the noise of pundits and the scrutiny of supporters who are desperate for clarity. What makes this situation even more fascinating is the profile of the player reportedly at the heart of the move. Yousef Chermati, a Portuguese forward with a powerful presence and a knack for unsettling defenses, has been quietly building his reputation. At Rangers, he has shown flashes of brilliance, moments that hint at a much bigger ceiling yet to be reached. That's exactly why this rumor feels so strange, because players like him are usually seen as long-term investments, not bargaining chips in deals involving fierce rivals. Yet, if the whispers are to be believed, Celtic have identified Chermati as a key piece in their future attacking plans, someone who could bring a different dimension to their front line. It's the kind of bold thinking that fans often demand, but rarely expect to see executed in such dramatic fashion. And if Lawwell is indeed the architect behind this move, it signals a willingness to break conventions that have defined Scottish football for generations. Naturally, the reaction from supporters has been a mixture of confusion, excitement, and outright skepticism. On one side, Celtic fans are trying to imagine how Chermati would fit into their system, picturing him leading the line, using his physicality and movement to create space and opportunities. On the other side, Rangers supporters are questioning why a player with such potential would be allowed to leave, especially to their biggest rivals. It's not just about tactics or squad depth. It's about identity, pride, and the unwritten rules that have governed this rivalry for more than a century. Breaking those rules, even in the name of progress, comes with risks that go far beyond the pitch. Yet, there's also a sense that modern football is changing, that financial pressures and strategic decisions are beginning to outweigh tradition, and this rumor might be the clearest sign yet of that shift. As the story continues to unfold, more details begin to emerge, though none of them have been officially confirmed. There are suggestions that this isn't a straightforward swap, but rather a complex arrangement involving multiple moving parts, negotiations that have been ongoing for weeks, perhaps even months. Insiders hint at late-night discussions, carefully managed leaks, and a deliberate attempt to control the narrative until everything is in place. That would certainly align with the reputation of Peter Lawwell, known for operating behind the scenes with precision and discretion. If he has indeed orchestrated this deal, it would represent one of the most daring moves of his career, a statement that Celtic are prepared to do whatever it takes to maintain their competitive edge, even if it means stepping into uncharted territory. Meanwhile, the player himself remains something of a mystery in all this. Yousef Chermati has not made any public comments, and those close to him have remained tight-lipped, adding to the intrigue. Is he aware of what's being discussed? Has he already agreed to the move, seeing it as an opportunity to take his career to the next level? Or is he simply waiting, like everyone else, for the situation to become clear? These unanswered questions only fuel the speculation, turning what might have been a straightforward transfer into a full-blown saga. In many ways, it reflects the unpredictable nature of modern football, where deals can materialize out of nowhere and reshape the landscape in an instant. What cannot be denied is the impact this rumor is already having on the wider football community. Beyond Glasgow, fans and pundits are watching closely, intrigued by the possibility of such a controversial move becoming reality. It challenges long-held assumptions about loyalty, rivalry, and the boundaries that clubs are willing to respect. If this deal goes through, it could set a precedent, encouraging other clubs to rethink their own strategies and alliances. And at the center of it all stands Peter Lawwell, a figure who, whether admired or criticized, has once again found a way to place himself at the heart of the conversation, reminding everyone that in football, as in life, the most unexpected moves are often the ones that leave the biggest mark. As the hours pass and the noise grows louder, there is a growing sense that this is no longer just idle gossip. Something is happening, something significant, and the pieces are slowly falling into place. Reports suggest that final details are being ironed out, that agreements in principle have already been reached, and that it's only a matter of time before everything is made official. For Celtic, bringing in a player like Chermati would represent a major statement of intent, a signal that they are not content to stand still. For Rangers, letting him go, especially under these circumstances, would raise serious questions about their strategy and long-term vision. Yet, in the unpredictable world of football, decisions are rarely as simple as they appear on the surface. There's also the broader context to consider, the evolving nature of the Scottish game and the pressures that come with competing at both domestic and European levels. Clubs are constantly looking for ways to gain an edge, to find that extra bit of quality that can make all the difference. In that sense, targeting a player like Yousef Chermati makes perfect sense for Celtic. He brings attributes that are hard to find, a combination of strength, agility, and an eye for goal that could transform their attacking options. But the manner in which this move is reportedly being executed adds a layer of complexity that cannot be ignored. It's not just about improving the squad. It's about redefining what is possible within the context of one of football's most intense rivalries. For Rangers, the situation is equally complex, if not more so. Losing a promising striker is never easy, but doing so in a deal that benefits their biggest rivals would be particularly difficult to justify. That's why some believe there must be more to this story, that Rangers are gaining something significant in return, even if it hasn't yet been made public. Whether it's financial compensation, player exchanges, or strategic advantages, the full picture remains unclear. What is clear, however, is that decisions of this magnitude are not made lightly. They involve careful consideration, weighing short-term sacrifices against long-term gains, and trusting that the chosen path will ultimately lead to success. Amid all this speculation, one thing stands out above all else: the role of Peter Lawwell. Known for his calm demeanor and strategic mindset, he is not someone who seeks the spotlight, yet he often finds himself in it during moments like these. If he is indeed behind this move, it speaks volumes about his willingness to take risks and challenge the status quo. It also reinforces the idea that football, at its highest levels, is as much about negotiation and strategy as it is about what happens on the pitch. Deals are crafted, alliances are tested, and sometimes, the most surprising outcomes emerge from the most unlikely scenarios. As fans continue to debate and speculate, the anticipation builds, creating an atmosphere that is both tense and exhilarating. Social media is flooded with opinions, theories, and reactions, each one adding to the narrative. Some dismiss the rumor as impossible, a step too far even in the modern game. Others embrace it, seeing it as a bold and exciting development that could inject new life into the rivalry. Regardless of where they stand, everyone is watching, waiting for confirmation, for that moment when speculation turns into reality and the full story can finally be told. Until then, the rumor remains exactly that, a tantalizing possibility hanging in the air, refusing to fade away. The idea of Yousef Chermati crossing the divide, of Peter Lawwell orchestrating such a move, continues to capture the imagination. It's a reminder that in football, the unexpected is always just around the corner, waiting to surprise even the most seasoned observers. And if this deal does come to pass, it will not only reshape the squads involved, but also leave a lasting mark on the history of Scottish football, a moment that will be talked about for years to come, a story that began as a whisper and grew into something much, much bigger. And just when it feels like the story couldn't get any bigger, another wave of whispers begins to ripple through the football world, suggesting that what we've heard so far might only be part of a much deeper plan. There are those now claiming that Celtic's interest in Yousef Chermati is not just about strengthening the squad, but about making a symbolic statement, one that echoes far beyond the pitch. Bringing in a player directly associated with Rangers, especially one with clear potential, would be seen as a bold assertion of dominance, a move designed to unsettle their rivals as much as to improve their own attacking options. At the same time, questions continue to swirl about what Rangers might be gaining behind the scenes, because in deals like this, there's always more than meets the eye. Some insiders hint at future clauses, hidden agreements, and strategic maneuvers that could reshape both clubs over time, making this feel less like a simple transfer and more like a carefully orchestrated chess move. The narrative around Chermati himself continues to evolve, with more and more speculation about how he fits into this unfolding drama. Described by some as a forward with raw power and untapped brilliance, he represents the kind of player who can change games in an instant. That's exactly why his potential departure from Rangers feels so unexpected, almost contradictory to the idea of building a strong, consistent squad. Yet, there's also a sense that his development might benefit from a new environment, a different tactical approach, and fresh challenges that could push him to reach the next level. Celtic, with their style of play and emphasis on attacking football, might offer exactly that. Still, the emotional weight of such a move cannot be ignored, because crossing that divide is never just about football. It's about legacy, perception, and the reaction of supporters who live and breathe every decision their club makes. Meanwhile, the tension among fans continues to grow, with every new rumor adding fuel to an already blazing fire. Conversations in pubs, online forums, and across social media platforms are dominated by this single topic, with opinions ranging from cautious optimism to outright disbelief. Celtic supporters are daring to imagine the possibilities, picturing Chermati in their colors, leading the line with confidence and intent. Rangers fans, on the other hand, are grappling with a mix of frustration and curiosity, trying to understand the reasoning behind a move that seems to go against everything the rivalry stands for. It's this emotional intensity that makes the story so compelling, turning it into more than just a transfer rumor and elevating it into a moment that could define an era. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. As the speculation deepens, there are also whispers about the role of other figures within both clubs, individuals working quietly behind the scenes to bring this complex deal to life. Negotiations of this scale rarely involve just one or two decision-makers. They require coordination, trust, and a willingness to take calculated risks. The idea that discussions have been ongoing for an extended period suggests a level of planning that goes far beyond a last-minute decision. It paints a picture of a deal that has been carefully constructed, piece by piece, with every detail considered and every potential obstacle addressed. If that's truly the case, then what we're witnessing now is the final stage of a process that has been unfolding in secrecy, hidden from the public eye until the moment was right. At the heart of it all, Peter Lawwell's influence remains a constant point of discussion, with many believing that his experience and vision are key to understanding how this situation has developed. Known for his ability to navigate complex negotiations, he appears to have once again positioned himself at the center of a major talking point. Whether this move ultimately proves successful or not, it undeniably reflects a willingness to challenge conventions and explore new possibilities. In a football landscape that is constantly evolving, such boldness can be the difference between staying competitive and falling behind. And for Celtic, maintaining that edge is essential, especially in a rivalry as intense and closely contested as the one they share with Rangers. As everything continues to build towards what feels like an inevitable conclusion, the sense of anticipation becomes almost overwhelming. Every update, every rumor, every subtle hint adds another layer to the story, drawing fans deeper into the narrative. There's a feeling that something historic could be on the verge of happening, something that will be remembered long after the details have faded. Whether it's confirmed or collapses at the final hurdle, this saga has already left its mark, capturing the imagination and sparking debates that will continue for years. And at the center of it all stands Yousef Chermati, a player whose name has become synonymous with one of the most surprising and talked about rumors in recent Scottish football memory, a story that refuses to fade and continues to grow with every passing moment. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.